the team did like this. Well, they weren't aware of, are we going in? Are we not going in? Though the coordination wasn't perfect, but he did do some decent plays. So I think he's all right. Melas is the one I want to keep my eye on. When he picked Pango, he looked pretty good, but in other games, he had a tough situation. I think he picked Sand King yesterday, and wasn't quite the performance. I'm gonna have to go check, make sure that I'm right. But yeah, I think he picked Sand King yesterday, and it was a really rough game for him. He's really good with the Pangolier, but some of the other initiating cores has been kind of hit or miss for him. And you can't do that. You can't do that against Spirit. You got if you play anything less than 10 out of 10, they're gonna win.
So yesterday, Ancient Tribe won against one move. In that
Yes.
game, they played the Darkseer lineup. So it was Darkseer, Tiny, Slark, Silencer, and a Leshrac. So they ended up winning that one. Not a lot of teams have pulled off a Darkseer lineup in this tournament. Do you think that might be
Yeah.
something that they're gunning for?
I guess I don't. I'm with you. It feels like Darkseer also. It's not so much that the Darkseer himself is usually very good. It's kind of what his allies can do. Each type already gives them tiny, but yeah, it's like Darkseer is kind of like a weakened version of Magnus. No BKB piercing, it's not stuns, just a nice vacuum. It's really on the follow up to do well. So I wouldn't really chuck it up most of the time to the Darkseer. Later on once they get the BKB, the BKB, the Blink Dagger, and the Aghanim Scepter, they can do a lot of plays. But until then, it's just kind of a vacuum here, and that's about it.
Overall, looking at the bans, nothing too specific here. Team Spirit, they are kind of targeting Ancient Tribe, not something that we see too often, that they Clockwork and they DP get banned out, but that has been something that the Ancient Tribe have been picking. So Team Spirit giving the respect to Ancient Tribe, even though maybe a lot of viewers would be like, okay, this is gonna be easy, but these guys have probably looked at them and be like, yeah, these are not the heroes you want to be playing against. And you were talking about Ricky, it's not gonna be in the pool.
Yeah, getting rid of what Mira has been playing. Like whenever Ricky has been in the pool, or I think most games Mira takes it, there's a lot of work. The Aghanim Shard has been incredible with him. He would walk around, they sleep someone, the rest of the team just converges, they get pick off, and they take a fight or take a tower or an objective, no matter what. Team Spirit always relies on Mira to get that opening touch on someone, and they would win with that way. And for Team Spirit, they open up with Mira's Rubik, could be Pushka. I mean, Rubik has been he's become more flexible over the years, where he used to be almost exclusively as before.
So mostly it has been with Pashka playing the Rubik. I mean, in terms of Team Spirit overall, even in their run where they won, it was Pashka playing the Rubik more often than Mira. Mira, in my mind, he has kind of been the god of staying, but he has had so much impact with his team. He's like the stable one. Like you're never gonna see Mira completely underperform, and that's a big deal to have in your lineup. Even though position fours, and it's weird to have a position 4 like that, because position 4s are usually these flashy guys who want to prove themselves. This guy is humble, and I mean he does such a great job at doing it. If you go back into his games, every single time he has a ton of impact. It actually changes the flow of the game sometimes, and it goes. I banned it out. We're talking about Malice Pango. It does come out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be MTD Tusk as well, which I'm mixed feelings for. But going back to your point about Mira, I always felt the exact same way about Team Spirit, where it's like you got your Taurus super flashy and Collapse is super flashy, and Miposhka with this bait could also make really flashy plays, and you have Flora before this Toronto Code, also mid lane flashy, and Mira, he's always felt like the guy who brings up the teams let's say a team could perform this, from this way. He always brings them up. He always makes sure that they don't perform too badly. He always makes sure he brings a lot of stability to the team, and I like that. He's not flashy. He can make flashy plays from time to time, but he's a very stable player who will always give you a good game, always give you a good lane, and he prevents Team Spirit from ever getting stomped, if that makes sense. And I like him for that. I think that's a different style playing position 4. And he is going to go up against a Pangolier as well as a Tusk. There's two things he can roll with. He can roll with the Rolling Thunder or with the Snowball. Oh my god, after all this time, Bloodseeker, Spict versus Pango. I like this, and I think we've been waiting since the start of the tournament for something like this.
For sure. Yatoro is also one of the people that can pull off the Bloodseeker with great success. But also, I
Mhm.
wouldn't mind even if Collapse got it. It kind of goes hand in hand with the heroes he would like to play. The not in a sense he likes to jump in and stun because the Seeker obviously doesn't do it, but it's a
Mhm.
strong laner. So imagine an offlane Bloodseeker and Collapse. I mean, he would have like a billion CS
Yeah.
in the first couple of minutes. Still, I do believe it's most likely going to be a Toro, but still a pretty big counter, something that Ancient Tribe they had to think that it could happen. So they're just gonna have to find a way to deal with it.
Yeah, we might see them like wait for their off lane or whatever, or their carry pick for last pick, and they just take their 5 and 2 in the next stage, so that they can still flex with the Bloodseeker depending on the laning phase. They'll be like, okay, do we want it? Do we not want it? Do we want to go something else? But either way, I like the pick a lot, and they do get rid of the Faceless Void. So it does feel like they're getting rid of carries. Offlaners are being banned against them. So it's like I said, it probably is the Yatoro Bloodseeker at this point, which I'm fine with. I think Bloodseeker is just a flexible hero, and either the one or the
True.
three, so it's no big deal.
Those are the heroes that the Seeker does hate playing against for sure. They don't
Mhm.
care about the Rupture all that much. They have their mobility spells, which shield them from the Rupture, which is not something that you usually have. Magnus is going to be banned out from the other side. Understandable. They get rid of the Zeus as well. Larl has been playing as Zeus in a different way with the
Yeah.
Bloodstone, and I mean it has been really fun to watch. It's different,
Mhm.
but I don't necessarily know if it has been incredibly powerful. It was fun, but I felt like a couple of times that Larl was the one not performing up to the Team Spirit
Mhm.
standards. But maybe that's just when you look at it from the side. If you go into the game and play from their perspective, it might be that Yatoro feels super confident because Larl is doing what he is.
Yeah, no, I like that point, right? It's like as viewers and even as us casters, we're seeing the game, we're getting a lot of information, but how it actually feels it's very different. Sometimes we see a game, it ends, and one of the heroes we're like, oh, he performed okay, but the next game that hero's first banned. They always be like the players are like, that's the one that really gave us problem. And for Ancient Tribe, yeah, this Zeus, the Bloodstone BKB build where he has like 1 point heavenly jump, it's awkward, but Lara's been making it work. And for Team Spirit, sorry for Ancient, they were like, we don't want to, have a Bloodseeker who gets a kill and goes to full health. We don't want a Zeus who turns on Bloodstone ultimates and goes back to full health. We don't have to deal with these constant big regenerations. So let's just get rid of the Zeus. And Lars has his sniper. Of course, he's got a big hero pool, but sniper's another hero that he likes to play from the mid lane. And they take out the Snapfire instead. This hero has become a bit of an off lane pick, along with, of course, the support. So you'll have the Guardian Greaves build, sometimes a pipe, as well as, of course, the Shard and the Aghanim set. But I do like the Greaves rush first into the other items. It just makes the hero very tanky, and the hero is really good at farming, no matter what position she's played at. Sorry.
The Zeus ban also, I mean, you still have a Seeker on the other side, so it has kind of been the duo of heroes. It's not like you put the Blood Rage on the Zeus any longer, but it's still the Zeus. Pops his ulti and the Seeker is just a race car. So it is gonna be the Hoodwink that comes out. This is nice for the Seeker. If he's super fast, you break him, he suddenly slows down. So that can be an issue. And also he's the type of hero that hates getting bursted down. So now I'm pretty sure that it is gonna be a Tusk in the mid lane. Cause oh, look at that one. It's actually Lil that
I was gonna say it's not Aki, right? Lil's
yeah.
in here. So LeBron's playing position 4 in this game.
Might be the case. No, I would assume it's Lil playing position 4. If you remember their
Hmm.
days in Navi, um, it was LeBron 5, Lil 4. But I have to
Hmm.
say that the I remember the tweets between them. They weren't really nice. So I'm hoping that they buried the hatchet.
Lots of good damage coming out. Oh, the Phoenix comes out from Team Spirit. No egg hitter right now on Ancient Tribe's side. Does feel like that's going to be. I mean, it could still be go either way, right? The Phoenix is also a hero that benefits from farm and can be played as a 5 because you just do percentage damage and you have BKB piercing abilities anyway, so always good. But yeah, the pick off potential from Ancient Tribe is pretty good, right? You snowball, walrus punch, shards, bushwhack, sharpshooter, these abilities landing is enough to just kill anyone in the first 15 minutes. So I like the damage coming out from them. Of course, it could be MTD on the Tusk, which I'm not a fan of. but that gives you even more burst potential in the early game.
So this is a Phoenix. So now Mars, Centaur. I think those are the ones that Collapse is probably looking at, unless they want to leave his pick for last, which I don't think you necessarily have to do, considering that you already see a mid laner. Though Larl could make a decision here if he wants to play something, and yeah, it is gonna be an Ember Spirit. Okay, that's like a standard hero to fight
Yep.
against the Tusk in the mid lane. Plus, you don't really have instant disables until the Tusk gets a blink. So dodging the bushwhack, stuff like that, not too hard for the Ember.
And I like it. Like we talked about this earlier. We said it's going to be something like the two and another support being picked right now because they still want to flex this Bloodseeker. Even though we both feel it's going to be a Yatoro Bloodseeker, I mean, I feel that very strongly, really. But there's a chance that Team Spirit has picked it from the start as an offlaner. They're flexing it, and they don't want to reveal that what role it is yet. So they take Lord's Hero and they keep the pool open. And I mean, there's still a good couple of collapse heroes, including, of course, the Centaur, which he's been dominating with. And although they could put Yatoro on something like a Life Stealer or a Slark, and he's been playing those pretty well as well. I mean, he always does, but you know what I mean.
I'm thinking now that the Phoenix has been picked that we definitely need an AoE stunner on Collapse. So that is kind of what I feel like, unless maybe Atoro wants to play something like a Monkey King Sven, which I mean, not out of the question, especially not the Monkey King, but it's not something that you really expect to happen all that much. They now see the Ember. Crystal Maiden is in the pool. I feel like this is a great Crystal Maiden game. It's just nice against the Ember, but they go for the Slark, leaving the last pick for their support most likely, or are they still flexing this Tusk?
I mean, they're still flexing the Tusk, but I do think it's going to be a support pick. Mirana is still in the pool, and that could be something Ancient Tribe wants to go for. Well, and in the meantime, though, what do we have for Team Spirit here? They definitely, again, it's flexible. Could be a carry, could be an off lane. For Ancient Tribe, we're also looking at it as either a mid or a support. I'm very confident that it's going to be Melis on the Pangolier. That is he's really impressive with it. So that's what I'm going with right now. And they do get rid of the Shadow Fiend. So for Team Spirit, they're feeling the same way. You know, they feel like, okay, it's gonna be a mid laner. Let's get rid of the Shadow Fiend. We don't want Laurel to suffer against that.
Yeah, I mean, SF is just an amazing hero against the SF. It's so good against the Seeker as well. You know, he's running in and suddenly he's just running away. So you don't want that to happen. You don't want him to have to pop the BKB preemptively and really laning against the SF as the Ember is next to impossible. The Beastmaster will get banned out. Really, the Slark doesn't do well with the hero. Just hates it. Out of the melee heroes, there's a couple that the Slark really doesn't want to play against, and Beastmaster definitely falls into that category. But is the Beastmaster really something that Team Spirit are gunning for here? Would you think that's the hero that they would like? I still think that Centaur would be nice, despite laning against the Slark.
I think we saw Collapse take Beastmaster in one of the games, but yeah, it's not something it's not as common as the Centaur pick for sure. My bigger concern is what's Ancient Tribe gonna go for. So they're feeling like it's gonna be a little Tusk, LeBron, LeBron on the Hoodwink, and they're just getting rid of the mid laners who can deal with an egg right now with the Lena pick. They need a mid. Their egg hitting ability is okay on Ancient Tribe, thanks to the Slark. The other three heroes, not impressive, but the Slark is pretty good because you can always remove the Fire Spirits, and then you can just go hit the egg by yourself, and you'll be fine most of the time. But you want more than one. You know, you don't want the Slark to spend his entire duration, the entire egg duration trying to hit it himself.
But wait, you picked a Slark into a Seeker. Like, is that a smart idea? Like, I'm not sure. You can't even farm the jungle effectively. If you get low, you're not going to be healing at all. This is a weird pick for me. Also, inside of the fight, maybe you're like, okay, let's give them one more target to rupture. But I don't see Team Spirit like consistently pushing for team fights. They have good ways to push out the waves and then go for some kind of pickoffs. And we talked about Dax, me and Wingblade yesterday, and now we're gonna see it. So I'm happy that Collapse is gonna try to pull this one off.
I like it too. It's a great AoE stun that they need. You mentioned that they need something like that for the offlaner. And Axe doesn't care about BKB, doesn't care about anything. He just jumps in, grabs as many people as he can. pretty durable. Although against the Slark, it's kind of like, I spin and I do damage, but also the Slark gets stats. And they go for the Dark Willow last pick. So it is going to be the mid Tusk. And looks like it's going to be the Lil on the Hoodwink, which is, again, another very high damage support. There's a lot of damage in the 4 from Ancient Tribe. Early game, they got a lot with the Pango, with the Tusk, with the Hoodwink, as well as the Dark Willow. But against Team Spirit, and I like what their draft is. It is going to be the position for Phoenix, by the way. So Phoenix and Axe, that by itself can win the team fight. You got pure damage, you got magic damage that doesn't care about BKB. You got 2 BKB piercing stuns. It's Team Spirit. I was going to vote for them regardless, and they look pretty strong. Oh, only 87% for Team Spirit. Chat is taking risks on this one, I must say.
I told you there are some fans. I thought you 90% was too much, but actually you were really close. That's you actually knew how the chat was gonna react, and maybe some of them did vote just so that they are gonna go against you. I like the last pick, Dark Willow, though. The only problem I have is that you have nothing really to deal with the Axe in the laning phase. Slark and the Hoodwink can be okay, but it's not really gonna shut him down. So I was expecting maybe some position 5 that's gonna be bullying him, Undying, Crystal Maiden, things like that. But they decide to go for the Willow. It's a really good Dark Willow game. The problem I have with the Ancient Tribes draft is the very tough to execute part, right? You have 2 of your cores who are pretty much destroyed by the Rupture, pretty much destroyed by the Thirst as well, I mean, when it comes to the Slark. And then you have supports that can't really go in. That's the thing. So it's not like someone can tank it up. They consistently have to keep their positioning. So those kind of lineups are immediately hard to play because you have to go in and out of the fight a lot. And the thing is, you're up against the Axe. One of the heroes gets called, there is a good chance that he dies. And I think the idea here for Team Spirit is kill the Tusk, and then it's over. Like, if the Tusk is dead, the fight is over, and he's your only frontline. So all of these things, in particular, make it very hard for Ancient Tribe draft to be played out. If they do it perfectly, I think they have a shot, but Team Spirit are the definite favorites here.
I like the Tusk bit, the point you mentioned a lot as well, because if someone gets ruptured or Berserker's Call, Tusk blinks in, grabs them all, and then you can just dodge with the full call duration, a good amount of the rupture duration as well. So there is a lot of value to this Tusk pick. But besides all the points that you said, which I agree with, I also find their egg hitting ability to be suspect. You have 3 melee cores. They're going to have trouble getting to it. And you have the 2 range cores that are known for their attack speed. Slark is really the only one who can do it. But you know what you guys can do? So you can click on the banner down below. There's some pretty impressive odds here. So so that $15 you get for registering for the first time, you can put it on Ancient Tribe and take that 30% chance. Maybe you can make something happen from it. Though,
he's in trouble. He's dead. That's a good way to start it. Melas having some extra gold in this game is actually quite big because he's the one that needs to, at some point in the game, get a Lincoln Sphere. And for a Pango, it's not that easy to do. So we'll see if he does get there. Yatoro. Oh, that's a pretty beautiful bushwhack coming out from LeBron. LeBron is a guy who, as I mentioned, he doesn't get bored of spamming one hero to get super good at it, and there was a time where he was spamming a lot of Hoodwink, so I'm expecting some nice spell usage to come out from him.
By the way, the Team Spirit did the same thing they did yesterday, where Maposhka would pick the Ricky, and then they swap in this game. They did the same. Mira took the Phoenix, and they're like, no, it's actually Maposhka. Psych! We can't believe those fools believed it. Very bothersome whenever a team does that, because you think, oh, it's gonna be position 4 Phoenix. Now it's position 5 as usual. No big deal though. Mira on the Rubik can do a lot of plays. I'm looking at the spells to steal, and I feel like Bramble Maze is pretty good. And you have the Rolling Thunder, but they're not that incredible abilities like the Ice Path and the Fissure and things like that to steal. So that's all like decent stuff.
I mean, shards are pretty good. I would like to have the shards. If I was a Rubik, I would be gunning for the Tusk spells in this game, especially because he's a core, so the level of his spells is gonna be quite high. I think that's the one that you're gonna be looking at. And when it comes to the team fight, well, of course, the Rolling Thunder would be the best one, but not the easiest to steal overall. Talk to me about this bottom lane. Can they pressure Yatoro here?
It's pretty tough because you have that slow attack speed coming out from Aposhka. Even though there's a good amount of burst damage from Melis as well as Lil, I think his return should be fine. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think that this Bloodseeker is really going to be threatened too much.
Miposhka
Phoenix,
there secures
Phoenix,
the range creep.
Phoenix just does a good. He's a decent laner. You just go in through Fire Spirits, and people won't want to trade against you. Laurel, he is not close enough to the tower to take tower hits, so MTD is just like trading punches with him, and a little bit of tag. You're it. No, no, no. You're it.
Sometimes when I look at the Tusk, I always like when the Tusk's mid focus on using the shards to finish off that last creep.
Oh,
Lil, he's dead. He's just dead. Oh, actually, there's no more fire spirits, but there's the right clicks. That's gonna be more than enough there. Just being level 1 is a problem. Collapse dropping low. He does have some regen, but it's probably not gonna be enough for him to safely lane here. So a lot of pressure there being made by both the Slark and the Hoodwink.
he's very close to his ring of health, so that's going to help him out a bit. But yeah, the Flak Bear there is there as well, so giving him an extra 3 health regen. So that's nice. Yatoro, 10 games with the Bloodseeker and going, 5-5. So at least it's not a negative score, but yeah, I never thought of his Bloodseeker as being like one of his big heroes that we saw at TI. Then again, he picked so many heroes at TI that almost hard to remember all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Toro has a signature hero. He is just a good player or all around who adjusts to every single situation. That's what makes him
Yeah.
so valuable to a tier 1 team. Really, sometimes you have these carries, that are good at one thing and they can have value in some things. But I feel like Yatoro would be good in any team in Dota, and that for me is a real tier 1 player. I know even when I watched this stream, it was just amazing how well he plays.
Yes, he's very impressive. He's very impressive, and it makes sense that he won the TI collapse. And Little Pleb, they're gonna be trading a lot of hits. They both have decent damage dealing supports with a good amounts of control. They both kind of want to trade hits. For Little Pleb, you want to get those stacks if you can. Axe wants to be able to spin. But for now, especially with the Ring of Health, feels like collapse is starting to it'll start at least gaining momentum in the lane. Maybe Little Pleb will begin to suffer.
Yeah, hard part is gone. That's what it
Yes.
feels like for sure. 2 points in the helix. You're gonna be spinning a lot. Little pleb, he probably cannot fight you any longer, especially when the creeps are there. And now it makes it a farm fest, which is something the Slark doesn't want to be a part of. So we'll see how the lane develops further. Bottom lane, Lil again dropping low. This time around, he does have the Shadow Realm, but he's actually ticking down, and he won't be able to get out of the blood, right? So in the end, it's gonna be a Toro that gets the kill. Very fast right now. His speed will tone down as the thirst from Lil passes, but that's another kill that they'll get on him this time around. A little
Denies.
bit of a better hero to secure it.
And check out how many denies they have. They have 14 denies between Yatoro and Maposhka,
Yeah.
which is pretty huge. No one else has 6 denies apart from Yatoro. It's like Maposhka has 6. No one else has that much on Ancient Tribe side. That's actually a problem for them. And top lane, Pleb, is he gonna lose his life here?
He's gonna take a life from
I
Mira. And
know.
you could see Collapse consistently blocking Lil Pleb, but the thing is, Axe, if he's not being attacked, he doesn't do anything. I mean, barehanded guy with only his fists. They are they are big, right? His fists, but
Yes.
you're still not gonna be able to apply that much damage to the Slark.
That ward might get dewarded right now. Laurel Plant is right in front of the enemy vision, so that's going to be a nice thing for Ancient Tribe to work with. And Pangolier is starting to really suffer here on Meles. With only 16 CS, we can see that Slark as well is suffering, so just the side lane's not going well for Ancient Tribe. MTD is having a good time with the Tusk, and that's good because he's going to be making space, and I'm not too worried about Meles because Pangolier is his best hero, but at the same time, he's suffering, man.
I mean, you should be worried, man. He's having a tough time and he's playing against the Rupture. So this game is going to be on MTD. His rotations to the side lanes are going to be very important. For that, you need to secure the runes. And currently, the only one that is going for the runes is Mira. No one else is doing the same thing out of the supports. Okay, Lil is coming over as well.
And MTD, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine, but still a bit worried for him though because Lil does take the double damage in top lane. Collapse went way too far. Gives I think the 3rd agility stack to Lil Pleb. So that creep cutting was Well, it was not rewarded, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was trying to get a little bit more in terms of farm while the Rubik was not there, but it's just not that easy to do. There is gonna be a Slark chasing you down, and well, another kill for Ancient Tribes. So maybe they can do something in this game, and if our viewers think so as well, banner is down below. You get the $15 free on your first bet if you're a new customer. Bottom lane, going for Yotoro, and he's gonna be going down. There's the rotation from MTD, a really good one at that. He's looking towards Miposhka. He just TP'd to the bottom lane. Miposhka has been crowned, but it is gonna be enough for MTD. He gets a kill, no reason to chase any further, and now immediately back to the mid lane before his tower takes any significant damage.
And little pleb, by the way, who was having a hard time against Collapse, that kill that Collapse sort of gave away for not getting much in return really has hurt him, putting him almost lowest in terms of net worth with the cores. Mira is stacking for him, and will MTD. Oh, sorry, he doesn't actually have. He's not level 60, but yeah, that there's some stacks coming on for Collapse, but it's still weird that not weird, but still unfortunate that he was able to. He died and gave so much back.
We'll see. Collapse usually gets to find the farm, but yeah, not having a good lane isn't something that he's necessarily used to. He's one of the better laners when it comes to the off lane for sure. Usually gets a lot of farm, even plays those kind of heroes. So game so far so good for Ancient Tribe. They're not losing too much. The haste rune does get denied. That's big. Snowball gonna be going towards Mira, taking a lot of damage. Can they finish him off? MTD without any issues. He also connects the shards onto Laurel, so he loses some HP as well. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Malice is dead. That's gonna be the first rupture usage. Laurel, you're a little bit too deep, buddy, but he's gonna dodge this Curse Crown with the Remnant. Actually, still connects on him, but he's up on the high ground. Gonna turn around, finish off LeBron, but puts himself in an uncomfortable spot. Where's the Snowball? MTD doesn't have it. Laurel is okay. Beautiful usage of spells from him. Keeps him alive and gets him a kill.
One for one trade, but both supports had to transfer there for Ancient Tribe. So I think they're going to be pretty happy for Team Spirit. And like you mentioned, we lost the Pangolier as well. So this has been the counter, right? The Bloodseeker versus Pango is just perfect. You rupture, he rolls, and it's like, oh crap, this is the worst feeling ever. I gotta cancel my ultimate or just die basically. So it's really good to see the Bloodseeker pick, and it's a small advantage for Team Spirit now with 1,000 1,000 gold advantage.
Slark is going for the Diffusal Blade. He is gonna get called here by the Axe, but little pleb, he doesn't want to fight. He just wants to run away. Okay, now he doesn't have the mana, and will have to pop his ulti to just get himself out. Without mana, without his ulti, I mean, he had to go to the base. He might have to go to the base. But Poshka has lost his life here in the mid lane, and Yatoro comes over. He will be crowned there, gets stunned up, but it seems like no one will be focusing on him. He's super fast, considering that people aren't that low in terms of HP. This is what the phase boots does give you, and he's done with that fight in the mid lane. Back to the bottom lane, his rotation not really worthwhile.
Yatoro's going for the Maelstrom first, just to get that extra farm acceleration, which he needs, and then he's going to go for BKB right after. He's already top of the net worth, though, so he's not like worried on catching up. It's just going to be a nice farming Maelstrom for him. They spot Collapse. The Bushwhack does land. Well, that's definitely enough damage if you have two cores and two supports on him.
They are gonna try to finish him off with the Vanguard. Collapse, he'll get the call off, doing some damage. Turns around on Little Pleb, tries to dunk him, but the sticks from Little Pleb keep him alive. That was pretty close to him getting the Slark, which would have been a catastrophe. Now Slark is low, he cannot heal. He is being spotted. He needs some bottle charges, and there it is, given to him by MTD, so he'll be able to get the Shadow Dance up.
Yeah, that's always going to be annoying, you know? You're like, hey, I'm Slark, they can't see me, they can't do anything. And then you realize, oh crap, Bloodseeker is getting a lot from your low health. And MTD is taking a bit of damage here.
He's in trouble. Where did he snowball to? To the creeps. He's trying to run away. Sleight of Fist is taking some damage from it. The chains now are gonna be there. Beautiful. Oh, nice dodge there from the Cursed Crown. He doesn't get the chains off though. The creeps coming over. MTD will burn a bit more. Sleight of Fist. Is he even gonna connect with that one? Laurel has the phase boost. Oh, he's going for it. You're not getting out of this one alive. Between the tier 2 and tier 3, he dies. And there's absolutely no response. Ancient Tribe, they just look at Laurel and there is nothing they can do.
And that's the thing, what is their control exactly, right? Like, we just saw the Cursed Crowd be completely negated. Bushwhack, you have to be next to the trees. Snowball, you can dodge. Pangolier roll, you can see coming. Like, the amount of control from Ancient Tribe, it's not like they don't have stuns, but they're not instant hex stuns or like a frostbite. Everything. There's all these stuns that have some sort of travel duration or some sort of condition where you can see the person coming at you. It's not ideal for to catch an Ember Spirit with those abilities for sure.
I mean, they have one. It's the Bramble Maze. It's kind of the spell that the Ember hates playing against because he uses the Sleight of Fist and you can easily connect it to him and then he can be in trouble. But the thing is, if he's the one running at you, then it is a problem.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I mean, I guess it's fair, right? I mean, if you can get the terrorize on him, it's also pretty good. But it's just like I said, it's a lot of trying to get them to land, and you can kind of skip the bramble maze with a remnant. So they're fine, I think. And Yotaro again continue to just free farm by himself. No one's bothering him. And all the cores from Team Spirit doing well. And with Boshka as a support, he's also got some serious gold as a Phoenix. Oh.
Yotaro trying to heal up. He's gonna get the rupture off. Melis bleeding green. That doesn't spark me as too good, but it doesn't matter. They get the connection there. And Yotaro, is he really gonna live? Like, no way, no way. He's way too fast. Look at the race car. Room into the trees. And it's time to TP away. Another swashbuckle misses, but the shield crash won't. They find Yotaro finally, but have they gone too deep? There's Collapse to get the revenge for his fallen comrade. Melis this time around gets into the trees, but Collapse eating through them. He's ready to dunk. LeBron James him. No, not gonna be happening. Just not fast enough to cut through all of the trees. Yotaro in the end dies, and MTD died somewhere on the map. I have no idea where because we were focusing on Yotaro.
Oh, the great escape. Very close. Dodges the swashbuckle. Stays alive from the hoodwink. But in the end, that shield crash was AoE too big, and they do get a kill on Yotaro. So overall, Ancient Tribe, nice trade. Getting the highest value target, but they're still falling further and further behind in net worth.
They most definitely are. That is a problem. They're just not getting enough farm. Collapse, he was struggling in the lane, and now he's just farming like a madman. He even didn't get the kill on the bottom lane. And now has been a little bit quiet, and still no one is even close to him on the side of Ancient Tribe, and he's the lowest net worth hero out of the 3 cores on the side of Spirit.
And Blade Mail going to come out soon for Collapse, which means that once you jump in and use your Berserker's Call, you also reflect a ton of damage along with the spin. So it's very scary for Ancient Tribe, and their team fight is not like super incredible. Oh, smoke breaks. Who are they going to go for? Nice call.
No. That's a really good call, but there's not enough damage though. They're threatening with the terrorize, not even needed. The Bedlam will be enough. LeBron does burn down there. It's gonna be Miposhka that gets the kill, but now Miposhka will follow suit. Him and the axe will be going down. There wasn't the egg on Miposhka, and without that one, you can't do much. Also, Laurel wasn't in the vicinity, and he's your main damage dealer, so now he comes over. He's gonna be showing what he's got, but it doesn't matter without the lockdown. Ancient Tribe are gonna be more than happy. That's the blink that you just wanted to reveal from Team Spirit, and you did do so quite nicely, but just no damage.
Yeah, not exactly according to plan. A lot of it was because, of course, Ember Spirit wasn't around and the Phoenix Egg was down. So Collapse kind of jumping. I didn't have vision of the area. There's no wars, no nothing. So Collapse kind of went in there blind, thinking, all right, I'm going to catch 2 people and we're going to be able to turn it around, not realizing that there were a lot of Ancient Tribe members there and they were able to punch it. Again, the net worth advantage, though, goes from 4,000 to 5,000 despite them losing 2 people on Team Spirit. Like, that's just how well they're farming. Ancient Tribe, they're not getting the CS that they need across the map. And the smoke comes out from Team Spirit. They do have their ultimates available this time.
They're going towards the top lane as we're seeing the being reminded to click on the banner below. Collapse, he clicks Q, he calls this Pango. He's gonna be okay there with a shield crash on 3 people, just not taking any damage. Swashbuckle to the side, the egg has been popped, and Team Spirit's rotation again with the axe blink dagger. It's not gonna do much. They need a core to go with this axe. He's gonna use the tumbler store and get into the bramble, pulled even further behind, and there it is. The Rupture, also a very nice terrorize, but the Rupture, now Melis, you need to stop. You need to stop or you're gonna die. He didn't notice he was bleeding. He's like, blood should be red. What the hell is happening to me? And then he dies. The offlaners are gone. And Team Spirit, they get something for their move. But overall, in terms of trades, Ancient Tribe, again, are gonna be okay with it. Oh, the Phoenix caught. That's a dead Phoenix.
That's big. That's big. I mean, Boshko is farming up a storm. You give an extra bit of agility for the slog. Yeah, the kill goes to LeBron, but you're happy anyway. So Ancient Tribe, they're doing well with these sort of pickups the Team Spirit wants to do. They're smoking with collapse, they're trying to go for these pickups, but so far Ancient Tribe has punished them twice. Once in their own forest, and now in the dire side of the map.
So, Collapse, being gone on Lil, does a lot of damage between the two supports, Bedlam and the Sharpshooter. You're not surviving that Ancient Tribe. They're getting kill after kill. Exactly what they want to do with these two supports. And Lil Pleb, he tips Collapse like, win the lane against me, but I'm gonna destroy you later on. And Collapse, he was ramping up his farm, but now dying a couple of times in a row. He really hasn't been able to do anything.
I think that's his third death, right? Like his third death, so he hasn't been able to advance at all. And I like what Sharp is doing. They're recognizing, okay, he's probably our best target. If we can jump him and he can't blink, he's got a lot of health and some armor, but so what? It's not Ember Spirit. Their catch is going to be weak against Laurel. And Yatoro, he could rupture. He gets if he gets lucky, gets a little bit of extra health from a creep or something. He's going to be hard to bring down. So they just go for Collapse, and it works for them 3 times. Laurel actually does die in the meantime. So scratch that. Looks like they can bring him down.
Was that Slark? That was a little... Okay, no, it was the Slark and the Tusk. I was like, did he just solo kill him with the Diffusal Blade? Wasn't the case.
No.
This nighttime is really creating problems from Team Spirit. The Slark, Lil Pleb is playing so well. He's always in an aggressive position farming, and then he can connect, giving vision to his team and being the first one jumping in. Now he jumps in onto the Rubik as well. They want the call. It's going to be coming out. The Rubik is going to be surviving because of that. Now both of them will get silenced up. The Slark, he wants to go for the ulti, but he doesn't have it any longer, and he's going to be dunked there by the guy he just tipped. Thank you for your money. Twice in a row, Lil Pleb will be going down, but at least the Tusk will survive.
A very small thing happened, which is that the snowball, it hit Collapse, so he wasn't able to get the Berserker's Call, but he did get it right as MTD was getting the Walrus Punch on the Rubik. That could have been a dead Rubik, could have given them a bit of an advantage, but because the Berserker's Call came at the perfect time, it didn't land, and he was able to survive. So they lose, 2 cores on Ancient Tribe? That's a bit of an ouchie.
Tusk TP'd out as far as I saw.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Lil is gone. Okay, that's another dunk. Collapse, starting to get those dunks out, chopping people down. And it's not something that the Ancient Tribe wants to happen, but still, it's just a couple of kills. They did read the map well so far, so if they continue doing the same thing, it's gonna be okay for them. The problem is daytime is coming in a minute, and then it's gonna be harder for Lil Pleb to make these moves.
I wonder if the Ancient Tribe is going to consider getting an early gem. I mean, for the Slack, if someone buys it, gives it to him, because if you can take away that vision coming out from Team Spirit, it does make a big deal. They just got a nice T ward off. They have, I think, 3 Ancient Tribe wards on the map, so it helps them if they can get rid of that. Team Spirit, the fight in their own jungle that they lost was because they had no wards in that area. So taking away their vision would be a big factor in Ancient Tribe winning this game.
I mean, so far so good in terms of taking down Vision. Spirit doesn't have a single ward on the map, so gem might not be needed just yet, but we'll see if they decide to invest into something like that. The problem I see here, though, is that Yatoro is just massively out farming everyone else. Like, he's 2k gold ahead of everyone on the side of Ancient Tribe, and it's not like Laurel is having a bad game either. So you are slowing down Collapse, but at what cost? It's not something that is gonna be too nice for them, as it's gonna be for our viewers who click on the banner below, get the extra $15 for the first bet if they are new on the website. So Otomo, 4,000 gold lead. Did you expect the Ancient Tribe to do? I would say that they're doing well so far.
Yes. I thought they would, honestly. I think Team Spirit is going to take the series regardless. But I thought Ancient Tribe was probably going to give us one of their better performances here, because there's no stress for them. You're guaranteed not to go to the playoffs. You might as well just come in and have as much fun. You're up against there's no better practice in the world than up against a TI winner, right? Like this is when you want to do your best, so you can later on be like, okay, here's our mistakes. If this works against TI winners, it's going to work against another team. So I like what they're doing, and it's going pretty good. I think looks like we might be losing Yatoro. Actually, no, he does get the BKB off in time.
MTD is fine. That's a big one. 9-second BKB gone. Ancient Tribe are moving quite well on the map. The introduction of Lil made them play the game a bit better. He's definitely having some say in the way that they're moving around the map and how they're playing. I
like that as well. I'm looking forward to the Pango getting a a basher. I think with the basher on Pango and the walrus punch, you will have a good amount of control for Yatoro. If you can get like a swashbuckle into Lara, that might be a kill as well. Although MTD in the top lane might be in trouble.
That's very dead. Dusk chop from collapse. The bushwhack doesn't connect. There were some trees missing there, so they will get the kill. Is Malice going for a basher? Is he maybe going for a Lincoln Sphere? I'm not sure. He's super farmed on the Pango.
Yeah, we haven't clicked on it to see his items. And for Team Spirit, they're just going to go for Roche because, of course, you have a Phoenix who really slows down the attack speed. So even though their single target damage is okay, the Phoenix just makes it very possible. And Poshka does have a nice shard. Love this shard on the Phoenix. The egg as well as the Sunray. Oh dear.
Oh, LeBron was too deep. Lil Pleb, that's too much damage you're taking. You need to jump out. Let's see if he'll be healing enough through his ulti to get the Shadow Dance up. That's a buyback from LeBron. The egg was popped, so Team Spirit don't have that one right now. They might not be able to finish off the road. There's an Aghanim Scepter on the Slark, so some big items coming through. As far as I saw, I think the Pango is trying to get a Lotus, or might be better than the Lincoln Sphere, because you really don't want to use the Rupture on yourself. Now jump in from Lil Pleb. He's gonna jump again, but Larl, he has the BKB without the ulti in enemy territory called and destroyed. And Larl going for more. He has dove already in this game quite far, but nah, it's gonna be enough. He asserts dominance, says, "Don't come back here again, or I'll be waiting for you." And they just walk back into the Roche again.
I gotta say, Ancient Tribe's approach towards the Roche Pit has not been going well for them at all. They lost LeBron, he bounced his back. Then they just lose Little Pleb, who had the axe. I think he missed the second jump. I think the axe was BKB, that's why I didn't land, or he just missed target. But either way, he jumped way forward. He did not want to be there, and that cost him his life. So Ancient Tribe at 20 minutes, literally 3 minutes ago, we were like, yeah, this is pretty good for Ancient Tribe. They're looking hot in this game. 3 minutes later, the net worth deficit has doubled, and suddenly Ancient Tribe looked like they're in a pretty rough spot.
Yeah, I mean, nighttime came to an end, daytime came, Spirit placed some vision around the pit, and they just played around. And when it comes to team fight, well, you have one team fight spell, okay, maybe two if you count the Terrorize, but Rolling Thunder, and it gets countered by the Rupture. So in a team fight, in a concentrated area where Spirit have a vision, it's way too hard for Ancient Tribe. So I'm not surprised that Spirit read the situation so nicely and just baited him into that fight over and over again until they completely destroyed them.
Even then, also, Team Spirit, they're starting to get that map control back, right? We're seeing a couple of the wars, one near the river, two of them near the river, actually. And that means that suddenly Ancient Tribe, before you could walk on, you'd be like, oh, they can't see us, we can do what we want. Now it feels like, nope, Spirit's got some map control. And if they play the top lane, they will have vision of the area they're playing in.
It was Team Spirit that bought a gem first, understandably so, because they are leading. It's too big of an investment, it seems like, for Ancient Tribe, who are already behind. So Team Spirit, they want to control an area, they want to make sure that there's no vision there, and that's probably what they're gonna do. Nighttime is coming up again, though this time around, Ancient Tribe, it's gonna be much tougher for them to get those kills they were getting in the last time that the sun was set.
Well, we haven't looked at MTD, but if he does remember. There's the blink kick. If you have the blink dagger and the Aghanim Scepter on the tusk, that could be a big deal. Oftentimes once he collapses standing in the front, so if you can just kick him to your side or your Toro, that could give the Ancient Tribe a big opening. And yeah, you're right. As you said, Maposhka is the one carrying the gym, so just making sure that he can just remove any vision from Ancient Tribe. 3 minutes on the Aegis. What's Team Spirit's plan right now? Seems that they're content to farm and they're not really grouped up with Yotoro the bottom lane, Mira in the top lane.
Yeah, Toro wants the Basher and of course the Shard. We'll see if he buys it or actually waits for the Roche to take it. For now, though, there is a long time until the second Roche appears. Melas, no, you don't want to be there. Believe me, you don't want to be there. Nice snowball save, though. They were ready for this, but Melas, still, it's going to be very tough to get out. He needs to go for a TP away right now.
Oh, he's ruptured.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's okay. He's okay. Very smartly done.
Yep, makes that alive. By the way, Slack also gets the shard, which is pretty good if Axe does, jumps in, Berserker's Call, you throw it on your allies. At least they get some healing going for them. Unless, of course, the Axe moves, but, at least you have options there for you to use. So, I mean, it's a standard Stark item, but I'm glad he was able to get it this time.
That was a very nice read coming out from Ancient Tribe. Usually someone would come to clear out the creep wave and they would die, but he called down MTD, who's also a core, something that doesn't happen all that often. Like, I'm gonna push out this wave, you need to be next to me, because they could jump me, and that was exactly what happened. So very nice read from Ancient Tribe. They've been playing this game quite well and forcing Team Spirit to TP multiple heroes in the bottom lane without losing a hero. I mean, it is something.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say they're playing very well because last time we did, they immediately lost a massive fight. So I'm gonna be like, "Come on, Ancient Tribe, you can do better than this. You got more in you than that." By the way, I love what Collap's going. He's going for the shard. This is, I believe, it reduces damage by 20% up to a maximum of 100 every time you spin on someone. So Slark, who sort of loves these long fights and just staying on his target and hitting him, will be the one suffering. Oh, nice rolling thunder being stolen here by Mira and used.
That's just it looks so small. Look at
Right?
it. It's
It's
like
tiny.
it's like a baby pangolin. So yeah, that's everyone likes cute baby animals. Though very soon it's gonna be turning into a not so cute old man in the Rubik.
Rubik's kind of cute. I don't know. I think he's a cute kind of hero. The way he's always jittery and stuff. He feels like a very excited child. Well, MTD might be very excited right now.
Yeah, he's not very excited for sure because he's being ripped apart and there's gonna be a dunk coming through. Nah, it's not because Laurel just does so much damage with a sleight of fist and with a DD. They're trying to go for more. Melis is a viable target, but he gets himself into a safe position. They're looking at Slark though. It seems like they want little pleb running all from the map. He does have the Aghanim Scepter to jump out. As soon as he saw the glyph, he was like, yep, they're hunting for me, and he wants to cut the next wave. This is very important for little pleb to do, and he's gonna be allowed to do it.
Oh, collapses. He doesn't have a BKB. He is forced to use it.
He's okay for now, but they're still gonna be chasing him down. Now they decide it's not worth it. 9-second BKB out. That's another 9-second BKB charge from Team Spirit that was forced out for nothing. But still, I don't see Ancient Tribe are losing too much in gold right now. I don't see them, even if they get those BKB charges down, that they're gonna be winning fights if the state of the game is like this.
I agree. It's not. It's like, yeah, the 9-second BKB didn't get them anything. It's like, well, true, but I mean, didn't get Team Spirit anything. But it's not like Ancient Tribe was getting more. But this could be nice getting these pickoffs. That's what their lineup is really good at. Is that they do have a good pickoff potential. Oh,
they didn't have the sharpshooter.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that Melis wasn't able to stick on him either, or like consider just going back. But that's Mira's. He's still gonna lose his life. LeBron does die. And, oh, nice Ogre Seal Totem.
He's okay. He's okay for now. There's gonna be a call from Collapse in the end. They lose him, but it's gonna come at a cost. Little Pleb tries to save himself and his buddy, but look at the burn. That's gonna be a cooked fishy. He's trying to run, jumps to the side. Collapse is still just behind him, and they see him clearly. You will stand and fight, and in the end, you will die. Collapse didn't have the mana for the dunk, but it doesn't matter. Yatoro does more than enough right-click damage to get the kill. 3 heroes down on the side of Ancient Tribe. It all started with that Rubik. They did kill him, but they paid so much for it here just because they didn't have that cooldown on the sharpshooter.
That's what Mira does, right? Like, he's such a stable player. Even when he dies, he takes 3 enemies with him. Like, he was in a situation where, like, oh, that's gonna be pretty ugly. But he's like, no, that's all right. I'll just steal the rolling thunder that was used on me. I'll just roll myself out. If they follow me, my team's got my back. And went really well for him. And by the way, we are seeing the problem of the task that we have seen countless times this tournament, the net worth. It's slowly dipping way more than the other cores on his team. And, I mean, I'm not sure if he'll be support level value later on, but they're definitely closing in on him.
I mean, if you get a Aghanim Scepter, you're okay. You're definitely at this point not gonna be a Tusk that goes in and just one-shot someone. That's out of the question, out of the possibility right now. But if you get an Axe, it's gonna be fine. I just don't see him getting it. You know, Blink, BKB, that's pretty much his net worth. So he is gonna be needing a lot more. Pango does have the Guardian Greaves and the Lotus Orb. He decides to use both of them. Like, I'm not taking any chances, being afraid of the potential rupture going his way. But no such thing will be used, at least not just now.
Basher on Yator, so you can also just lay on someone, make sure they can, like, even the Melis on the Pangolier is like, oh, you're spinning? It's okay, let me just stop you. Laurel, is he going in?
Yeah, he's going in. He's going in really hard. They're gonna punch him there quite heavily, but MTD he has to run away. Larl already popped his BKB. He's gonna be hit there from the Shadow Realm. Not really taking gold that much damage. MTD really wants to run. He needs some help here from the Slark, and there it is. The help will come out. He does hide him for a second, and because of it, he will get the Blink Dagger out. Malice has been caught. He's not going to be so lucky. Oh, actually, he has his own ways to save himself, and now going for Rolling Thunder. Thinking about it, the Rupture still hasn't been used, so he's like, nah. I did think about it for a second, but there is a big counter on the other side, so he stops.
Yeah, but none of the ultimates are expended by Team Spirit, so they're very happy to continue going on for this fight. Ancient Tribe, they're going to have the Sharpshooter available very soon, so they're also going to be ready for a fight if they want to take it. But the map continues to feel very suffocating. Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's gonna be the Terrorize onto the Bloodseeker. They're going for him. Nah, they're not gonna be able to kill him. Pops the BKB. That's two BKBs popped as well as the egg. And Ancient Tribe, that was a really good approach to the fight. But now there's gonna be a Rupture on Melas. Did he return it to Yotaro? Yeah, Yotaro is ruptured as well. There's gonna be a kill onto Yotaro, and that's gonna be happening. So let's see if they can make a fight happen right now. Jumping in with a Dark Will and not a smart move. That's a double dunk from Collapse. He wants more. This guy's know what's up. Lifts up the arms, but the hero dies way too fast. The double buybacks comes through. Ancient Tribe, they see their opportunity to go forward with the Bloodseeker being dead. They did everything they wanted to in that fight to kill Yotaro, but there's still other heroes on the other side to fight them. Depth Shot gonna be used by the Slark. Double jump as well. He needs to hide there if he wants to stay alive. He's gonna have
Collapse.
his ulti fairly soon. Collapse hiding in the trees. He's waiting for the Slark. He knows what he wants, but still look at how well Lil Pleb is going for. He's gonna go for Collapse. He doesn't want to be next to the Ember Spirit. Now both of them are gonna get called and absolutely destroyed. Laurel doing so much damage. He has to be He doesn't have the mana. Let's see if Lil can get out. That's a lot of damage with the Bedlam, but Laurel just doesn't care. Uses the Sleight of Fist onto the creep, still hiding in the trees, and he will be found. Miposhka now knows all of the little spots the fairy could be hiding in, and they find her. They burn her down, and Team Spirit, with just one buyback from Mira, they completely overtake that fight, turn it around. Ancient Tribe, they thought they had a moment, but it's gonna be destroyed completely by Team Spirit.
They had to use both the support buybacks, so their economy is now tanked because of that. And they still didn't win the fight. You know, it's not like they got anything out of it. They just lost more people. Outpost still going for Team Spirit side. It's unmitigated disaster, to be frank with you. That's just what Ancient Tribe went through. They're doing a decent job with what they have, like that Lotus Orb reflecting their option. That was really good to make sure they control Yotaro, but they're just so far behind. It's not like they have to, even when they play perfectly, the best they can do is like not get team wiped, and that's basically it.
Yeah, but I thought they did a good job there. I mean, they understood what their lineup should do,
Yeah,
how they should fight, and they even use their spells quite nicely. I mean, you could see how they approached it, even when Yotaro was dead, how they approached the chase. It was actually the right way, but the difference in farm is way too high. Still, I liked what they did. Also, the Lotus Orb came out just as Yotaro was finishing off his animation for the Rupture. If he had used it a little bit earlier, it would have been stopped, and then Yotaro probably would have been able to run out. So everything was done quite nicely from Ancient Tribe. Of course, the rest of the game hasn't gone that well for them, so Team Spirit will again win the fight, get the Roach. That's going to be a shard for the Seeker, so even more damage output coming out from him.
yeah, I like the shard for Bloodseeker quite a bit. And Axe is queuing up the Aghanim Scepter, reduces the cooldown of Berserker's Call, and you get Battle Hunger on all the people you affect. So you know, he'll be moving pretty speedily with that. And of course, the lower cooldown. We've seen Collapse get those big Berserker's Call one after the other. 5-man smoke, Ancient Tribe. Can they find someone? They do. They find Collapse.
Yeah, gets the call off. That's the extra armor. Gonna be losing. He pops the BKB. Very nicely done. Larl now comes in. This is the hero that you have to be afraid of. He has an Aghanim Scepter. He's very fast. LeBron, he thinks he can run away, hiding in the trees. The trees will get cut down, as well as LeBron and Lil. I mean, these two squishy supports, if they're not protected by their cores, there's nothing they can do. If you don't hold a good position and you're Ancient Tribe, you are gonna die.
It's very tough for Ancient Tribe. And you look at their high ground defense, you're like, it's not really there. You know, they don't really have an amazing high ground defense. Collapse trying to get a good call. It does pierce BKB, so it would have been able to get the bang. Although it's tough because it's like you have to be next to him, and he doesn't have to be hitting you. So it's a very hard thing to do. And no, you know, makes sense. Melis is able to just be out safely.
For it to happen, you have to be in front of him.
Yeah.
and he's rolling towards you and you finish the animation when he's there. It's next to
It's
impossible, really.
it's very tough. It's very tough. I think there's the extra AOE where you get level 25 for Berserker's Call.
Yeah, okay.
That makes it a lot easier. But until then, it's like, whoa, yeah, good luck.
I mean, you never know unless you try. Collapse, he has made amazing things happen in his Dota career, so you know, it wouldn't be too surprising if he did that as well. Slark just taken down.
Oh,
This is what the X does to him, and now it's just dive time. You don't have the Slark, you don't have the Depth Shroud to protect anyone, and it's very easy for Laurel to dive. He's not the one with the Aegis, it's actually a Toro who's quite low in HP and could be taken down if Ancient Tribe have the guts to do it, but it's actually going to be the Collapse that jumps in first. Lil has been caught. He has been ducked down. The Lotus Orb not going to help you with that. And now even MTD is caught, and that's looking really bad for him because he will not move. He will be called. He will be taunted into a fight that he cannot win.
and Collapse literally standing in front of the enemy fountain, waiting for someone to respawn and jump him. And again, we don't have the Tusk Blink Aghanim Scepter available, so he's just like, what the hell are you guys even gonna do to me? Hero damage is highest on Laurel, but does feel like it's been the Collapse show for the last few minutes. Laurel's 10, 1, and 9, and still Collapse looks like he's the one running the show.
Collapse went there to buy mangoes. He had no more mana, so he bought a couple of mangoes. He made sure that his mana was there so that they can continue fighting. And given that the Aegis is there for another minute and a half, it seems like they want to go forward. And while all this is happening, Yatoro on the ancient camp just trying to heal up as much as he can with the thirst.
Ember Spirit wants to go for the Refresher Orb. You know, just so you have that 8 remnants, double BKB. It's all good stuff there. And yeah, there's the Aghanim Scepter on Collapse Axe, which means that you can reduce damage a lot on the enemy side. And I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's been over for a long time, but Ancient Tribe keeps hanging in there.
I mean, Axe is just a big counter to the Slark unless the Slark is super farmed. And when we look at this Slark does not look super farmed. I mean, compared to the Axe, but compared to the other ones, it's even worse. He's going for a Refresher, so double call, it kills the Slark. Even if he's in his ulti, he'll kill himself on the Blade Mail. Jump in from the Bloodseeker, jump out from MTD. He's gonna try to hide in the trees. There is a Basher. MTD on the Bloodseeker, nice bushwhack though. It's gonna allow MTD to TP away, so at least something. You are pushing out the waves, saving your people. Rolling Thunder was used. Collapse will be fine there with the BKB. Turns around onto the Slark, and the Slark is looking like he's in a lot of pain. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of him. Dead for 70. Collapse. He finds the MTD as well. Is ready to continue dunking Melis. He does have the Rupture on him. Needs to stop the Rolling Thunder. And now dunk. No more mana on Collapse. But that looked like a dunk in the end, though. It's gonna be Miposhka that gets the kill, and the cleanup comes out from Laurel. It's time for Ancient Tribe to call it a day. Game 1, it's gonna be going into the favor of Team Spirit.
Yeah, it wasn't really in question at any point, you know. At the 20-minute mark, it was about 4,000 advantage for Team Spirit. We're like, okay.